Our next coach this morning is the head coach of the Presbyterian College Blue Hose, Coach Harold Nichols. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Blue Hose up to 2-1 in the conference, 5-3 overall, and you have your home finale, an early home finale, this Saturday against Liberty. So we'll talk first about the victory over Monmouth, and then we'll start talking about the Flames and take questions.
Okay. It was a really good college football game on Saturday. I tell you, Coach Callahan and the Monmouth football team are an outstanding team and a great addition to our conference. They big, physical, tough team. It was a great game. We were just fortunate enough to be able to make a play at the end to win it. Got to give our kids credit. They found a way, and they've been able to do that a few times this year, and really like the chemistry we got on our football team and the football character that those kids have to be able to win the type of games that we're winning. But can't say enough about Monmouth and what an outstanding program that they have, and what a big challenge that was for us here. We've got Senior Day coming up this week. We're honoring 13 of our seniors here. They'll be playing their last home football game, like you mentioned, against Liberty this weekend. So that always takes a special meaning, because those kids have represented our program well over the last 4 or 5 years, and want to be able to send them off in an appropriate fashion. But Coach Gill has got a great football team. You don't see too many weaknesses. You heard Coach McCray talking about it here earlier on this call about what an impressive physically football team they are, and poses a lot of challenges to our football team in a lot of ways. And very impressed with their quarterback. Josh Woodrum has played well all year, and he's a guy that you can tell is playing with a lot of confidence. I mean, they're averaging 35 or 40 points a game, and they've got great receivers, and there's really big up front on both sides of the ball. Their defensive line is very impressive, and Hagan and Sigmund at linebacker, they've got really good players in the back end, and so it's a very daunting task for our football team here as we continue on in conference play, and we're going to have a great week of preparation in order to have a chance to compete against this crowd this weekend.
Thank you, Coach. At this time, I'll start taking questions for PT head coach Harold Nichols. To ask a question, please press *1 on your phone, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser and click raise hand if you join us via the web. Questions for Presbyterian College head coach Harold Nichols. And Coach, first question for you is from Chris Lang of the Lynchburg News and Advance.
Hey, Harold, how are you?
Chris, I'm doing great.
Just wanted to ask you about your defense first, and what's been really the big key to turning that thing around here? Because I know for years it was a struggle for you guys to get there, but you seem to be pretty opportunistic this year.
Well, I think a couple things. One, I think we're healthy. We got into last year and had some decent depth, and we were pretty depleted injury-wise by the time we got into the stretch run. So number one, we've been able to stay healthy for the most part on the defensive side of the ball, and so some consistency there. I think Coach Spangler and our defensive staff have done a wonderful job over there on that side of the ball, and being able to get those guys to play as a team and do the things that they need to do in order to slow people down. And I think guys like Donnell Williams and Ed Britt and some of those guys back in the back end, they've got great leadership qualities, and there's a team defense concept that they've bought into that, and they're really the heart and soul of our football team right now, and have done a great job taking ownership of it. So some consistent recruiting over the course of time since we've been here trying to build this, and so we've got some older kids that have kind of been through the wars a little bit on that side of the ball, and then staying healthy, and those are two things that are very, very important. Experience and health, I think, are two really big reasons.
Speaking of health, what's DeMarcus Rouse's status?
I don't know right now. He had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and we're trying to get a gauge on the depth of his injury. We're hopeful that he'll be able to play this weekend, but won't know for sure here for another day or so. but he wants to play, and is a big part of our Russian attack. And but we don't know yet. It'll be later on in the week before we know.
Did he hurt his shoulder? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And two more for you. First off, what can you remember about that 2008 game down there at your place? Because that was one of probably your bigger wins since moving up to Division I.
Yeah, well, I wasn't here, Chris. That was
Bentley's. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, that was Coach Bentley was here. That was his last year here, and I just know that PC beat Liberty here that year, but don't know a lot of specifics about it. Again, that was a different day and time, and so don't have too much reference point to it.
Yeah, I completely forgot that you weren't there yet. Sorry about that. And then
no, it's okay.
One more. This game, is this as big of a game as you guys have played in your program since moving up, just because of what's at stake in the conference race and everything?
Yeah, I think that's probably correct in saying that. I've kind of been with my team talking to them about having 11 one-game seasons, and if you win, you raise the stakes of the next game, and we've had some pretty good wins this year, and each time you win, that the next game becomes with higher stakes. So it is a big game. Obviously, it's a conference game, and those things always add more meaning, and we know what we're in for, because Liberty's quite the opponent and an outstanding football team. So the good thing about it is we've got some older kids on our football team that understand, what that process is, and the challenge that you face playing conference teams. The Big South this year, obviously is as good as it's ever been, and I think the depth of the conference and the quality of the teams and the coaches in this league makes it a huge challenge. So it definitely is a big game, obviously, because of the success or the wins that we've had up to this point. But none of that will matter this weekend, when they kick it off.
All right, we'll see you down there. Thanks,
Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. We still got time for one or two more questions for PC head coach Harold Nichols. Once again, star one on your phone, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser and click raise hand. Coach, I'll throw one at you regarding Hayes McMath. Just his progression this season, key play at the end of last week and a couple similar earlier this year. Just how he's come along since the start of the season.
Well, I think Hayes probably played his best game last week against Monmouth. He's maturing as a quarterback. We didn't insert him into the lineup until towards the end of the year last year. So I don't know how many starts he's got now, but he's probably just now finishing a full season probably. So I think for him, each week he gets a little bit better, and each week he gets a little bit more confident and more comfortable in the offense. And Caleb Griffin and Tam Garrick, our other two quarterbacks, have done a great job with him, mentoring him and helping him prepare each week. And but he's done a really nice job, and how we go is how he's going to go as we go down the stretch here and these last few home games or last few conference games we've got. And couldn't be prouder of Hayes. Done a good job, played well this past weekend, and he's going to have to play well this weekend if we're going to have a chance to beat Liberty.
All right. Coach, I'm not seeing any more questions for you, so we'll go ahead and let you go. Appreciate you joining us, and good luck Saturday against the Flames.
Well, Mark, thank you guys for all you do at the conference office there, and I want to wish all the other coaches in the league good luck this weekend.
All right, thanks, Coach. PC Liberty, 2 p.m. Saturday on the Big South Network and the Liberty Flames Sports Network.